Tomorrow I get on a plane, head to California for Nissan. I'll be previewing the new Nissan Leaf and some other products that I can't talk about quite yet. Before we hop on that jet plane, we have some crazy things to talk about with Nissan, from them selling furniture to them also selling their headquarters, in the hopes that their e-power hybrid system, which will eventually come to the United States, could eventually save the company. Guys, if you're excited for my Nissan coverage, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more Nissan updates. You know, unfortunately, most of the Nissan news I've been covering lately hasn't been the most positive, but when they gave us a preview of all the products coming from North America, including possibly an Xterra, a refreshed Pathfinder, an all-new Rogue, a plug-in hybrid Rogue, e-power coming. The future is brighter definitely than what it is now for Nissan. They kind of have to go through these real dark ages to come out enlightened, to come out with competitive product, and to kick some butt. Now, it's not to say that Nissan has bad products right now. Nissan, as I said many times before, the Frontier is my favorite midsize pickup truck. The Pathfinder with the V6 and the 9-speed auto is really, really solid and can be had for pennies on the dollar, essentially, compared to its competition. And the Armada is absolutely fantastic. It has made its way into my S tier category of vehicles I've reviewed so far in 2025. So let's not beat Nissan down too much. They're not down and out yet, but like I said, they're reverting to selling furniture in China. I'm not going to get too much, and this is more of like a clickbait article. However, this is about a $1,200 seat. Their seat in their new N7 electric vehicle. It's a sedan. It is so good, and the massaging is so fantastic in here. People are asking, how can we get this chair in an office chair? I mean, if this chair, Nissan, if you're listening, if this chair was available in the United States for $1,200, let me see if I can find it. It weighs about 100 pounds. It's $1,300 from Dongfeng's official app. You can buy it. I would buy it. I would test it out. I would have it here on the chair. I knew I need a new office seat. And if I had a massaging office chair built by Nissan and Dongfeng, I would buy it right here, right now. The problem is, it's made in China. It'll only be for the Chinese market, pretty sure. And if it does make its way outside of China, the chances of it making to the United States are slim to none. This seat, developed by Nissan, is equipped with 49 smart sensors, and it adjusts the pressure applied to the back and other areas to the user's body shape and posture. Has 12-point massage, such as neck, shoulders, and back. Can be heated, while the seat cushion can extend as well up to 6 centimeters for people with long legs, myself included. Dongfeng Nissan has even acquired a nickname of the Sofa Factory because their seats are so freaking comfortable. Now, Nissan makes great seats here in the United States, for the United States products, especially when I think about the Aria. The Aria has really, really nice seats, but I'm sure these are just to that next level. Nissan is selling, they're trying to sell their headquarters in Japan to raise money to survive these troubling times. Now, I haven't seen these headquarters yet. Maybe I will when I go to Japan this fall. Time will tell, though. But this is in Yokohama. So if you want to know where Yokohama is, all right, it's south of Tokyo, and it's essentially a mega city, as you guys know. All right, here's Kawasaki, here's Yokohama, and the global headquarters is right here. And it looks like a very modern facility. And this is actually the house that Carlos Ghosn built. All right. He has essentially been a curse for the company. At least that's what we're led to believe. He was ran out of the company, and then he got smuggled his way out of the country of Japan and is now, I believe, still in Lebanon. The former CEO of Renault and Nissan. Nissan has operated out of the 22-story high-rise since 2009, when CEO Carlos Ghosn christened the new corporate compound with the debut of the Nissan Leaf electric vehicle. How fitting. Was catapulted on the backs of the Leaf, and then Nissan was never able to, progress in the ways Carlos Ghosn envisioned for the company as a fully battery electric future. And now, as this news is coming out, I'm heading to California to preview for you guys the new Leaf. Just crazy. Nissan's racing to cut 20,000 jobs, shut down 7 plants, and slash over $3.3 billion in costs. Nissan would structure this sale as a sale lease transaction so it could continue using the site through a lease, thereby keeping its offices and operations in place. So they're selling their house and then they're going to rent a bedroom in the house for their operations. If this is bought out by someone, who knows? But can Nissan get catapulted into survival mode with e-Power? I think Nissan's dead without a hybrid. Let me know if you guys agree with that. I mean, they're dead right now. They're not. I mean, there are some really good products: Armada, Pathfinder, Frontier, as well. I mean, the Z's really good for what it is too. The Aria, though, it's beautiful on the inside. It looks really good on the outside, but there's nothing about it that is class leading for an EV. It's essentially like if you can get a killer lease deal on it, that's the only way you would consider an Aria. And the Sentra and the Altima are fine, but those are essentially lease cars or fire sale only cars, as well as the Rogue. Watch my review on the Rogue. I love the Kicks. How did I not mention the Kicks? I love the Nissan Kicks. It's one of my favorite vehicles, absolutely available, especially for its low $20,000 price point. Love the Nissan Kicks. Can't believe I forgot to mention that. And there has been hybrid e-Power Kicks on the market globally, except in the United States, for many years. Too bad we never got it, but maybe we can. Hans Greimel, kind of the Japanese or Asian car specialist for Automotive News, got a taste of this new e-Power system just a few days ago, May 26th. This third-gen e-Power system is designed with American highway speeds in mind, and that's why Nissan never brought e-Power to the United States. It is a series hybrid only, so the gasoline engine only operates as a generator. All right, it never actually has anything to do with generating power to the front wheels directly from the engine through a transmission. There's no such thing. It's all electric motor driven. We'll see this new drivetrain in the newly redesigned Rogue anywhere between April 1st, 2026, all the way through March 31st, 2027. If I were a betting man, I would say it'd be probably right until the deadline in early 2027, we would see this new Nissan Rogue with this third-gen e-Power. However, Europe is getting its first taste in September with the Qashqai, which you see on the screen right now. And then it arrives in Japan next year with the Elgrand. And it's too bad Nissan is not going to bring the Elgrand in the United States. We got it previously with the Quest, but imagine Nissan just coming in and being like, hey, Sienna, your hybrid days of owning the market are over. I know Kia has, the Carnival hybrid, but watch my review on the Sienna hybrid that I just drove last week at Toyota headquarters. Like, it's just really, really efficient. It's really impressive how much fuel economy they're able to get. Well, I would love the Elgrand / Nissan Quest to come back to America, strut your stuff. The minivan market's hot right now, and bring in this e-Power with it to show what you're capable of. But I highly doubt it. I doubt we'll see the Quest come back into America. And instead, if you want a Nissan 3-row vehicle, you're going to have to get a massive Armada, which is great. I love the Armada. But if you want something fuel efficient, it's like 17 to 20 miles per gallon in Armada, or around 20 miles per gallon in the Pathfinder 3-row. I could be missing something, but the Elgrand with sliding doors and 40 miles per gallon would be a welcome hit as a rebadged Quest, right? They could call it the Quest, well, once again. So they're saying the improvements in this hybrid system are in the engine, but the updated system also leverages a compact, less costly electric drive unit. This overhaul has been in the making for 5 years. They're claiming this is clearly one of our most important technologies. You got to keep in mind, this is one of the big reasons Nissan and Honda's merger talks fell apart. Honda's like, we don't need your hybrid technology that is not even competitive. It's not even existing in the biggest market for Nissan, which is the United States. Maybe China, depends on the year right now, but their business in China is diminishing. And so Honda's like, we don't want your e-Power. We're developing our own hybrid technology, and our next-gen hybrid technology, actually, Nissan, is going to be out before you can even get your first-generation e-Power in America. I know I say first generation, but it would be the first time we see e-Power in the United States, despite it being a third generation e-Power. So Honda and Nissan, they couldn't see eye to eye on their hybrid technology, and Nissan felt offended that Honda didn't want anything to do with Nissan's e-Power. And it's just crazy. The CR-V is well over 50% hybrid, with the demand even higher than that, I would say. And then the new RAV4 is going to be fully hybrid, if not plug-in hybrid, depending on what powertrain you want, right? And then here's Nissan. I guess maybe Nissan saying, hey, yeah, but the thing is, the Rogue is so bad. I just reviewed it last week. The Rogue is so bad from a powertrain perspective that it's just not something I would want to invest money in. It's as simple as that. It's not good. The powertrain is not good. It's not even mediocre. It's bad. I would much rather be in a Nissan Kicks that's technically slower, but it's definitely more responsive and way more like enjoyable than the 3-cylinder turbo that we see in the Rogue with the CVT. And get this, e-Power's been around since 2016 in Japan. A decade later, they're just now, well, it's going to be more than a decade, right? 2016, it'll arrive in, I'm going to say early 2027. So more than 10 years later, it took Nissan to develop a hybrid system that would work in the United States. And of course, in hybrid crazy Japan, but I would say hybrid crazy United States right now, it has been a hit, e-Power. Nissan has developed it for 4 nameplates: the X-Trail, which is the Rogue, the Serena minivan, the Kicks, subcompact crossover, and Note hatchback. It's too bad we don't get the Note. I'm a big fan of the Note Aura. Shoot, even in China, the Sylphy gets e-Power. What is the Sylphy? The Sylphy is the Sentra. It's the same car, just a different name. And to date, Nissan has produced 1.7 million e-Power cars and sells them in 68 countries, and it's not available in their most important market, the United States. So this new third-gen e-Power, which will be the first generation we see in the United States, achieves a 15% fuel economy boost on highway driving and a 9% improvement in the city. And it also delivers a quieter driving experience due to a new electric powertrain unit that combines 5 components into one compact module. They'll also be, in theory, reusing the electric motor and the inverter as well for their battery electric vehicles. So they have component sharing, which will reduce costs. Now, currently, they use the 1.5-liter 3-cylinder turbo engine that I just roasted in the Rogue. They're scrapping that for this third-generation e-Power. They're actually getting rid of the variable compression technology. And this sacrifices actually torque and fuel economy at lower engine speeds, but those duties are picked up by the electric motor, which accelerates the car from rest and delivers good low-end torque. And I've heard nightmare situations about the VC turbo from the 2-liter. I'm not sure about the 3-cylinder, but I wouldn't trust it either. The VC, the variable compression technology, just is very, very complex. So they're making their engine simpler. It's going to be more reliable. It's going to be cheaper. And this is the way to do it. Look at Toyota's hybrids. Toyota's hybrids, at least in the United States, they will be using turbos in the future, and probably Honda too for their large platform hybrids for Honda. But naturally aspirated engines, just keep it extremely simple on the engine end and let the electric motor and the battery do most of the work where the engine is not very efficient. So this new engine will be operating in more efficient rev ranges and at higher speeds. And so this will improve thermal efficiency to around 43%. And the new e-Power engine was retuned to become a better electricity generator. So we still will not have the engine at all motivating the front wheels or the rear wheels. It is only a generator, which will make me wonder how efficient this hybrid will be at highway speeds. I don't think it can be, technically, I don't think it can be as efficient as Toyota's hybrids on the highway. No one seems to be as efficient. I mean, I'll take that back. Hyundai can be pretty efficient on the highway, but they're not as efficient in town as Toyota's hybrids. But still, Toyota's even hard to beat on highway efficiency. And despite Nissan having these massive upgrades for their e-Power, I don't see them matching or exceeding Toyota's efficiency on highways. Also, the new Qashqai's e-Power system has a pretty big battery, a 1.8 kilowatt hour battery. That's about the size of the battery that's in something as big as the Toyota Sienna hybrid. And this new Qashqai, that 140 kilowatts of power, is almost 200 horsepower, and that's fully electric. So you'll have that amazing immediate response like an electric vehicle. I just drove the new BZ non 4X front wheel drive with a smaller battery pack, and it had 168 horsepower. It wasn't much. I think 0 to 60 on it was still under 8 seconds, if I remember correctly. And this will have more power and it'll be lighter. So we could be seeing a sub 7 second 0 to 60 car with just 187 horsepower because of the immediate response. And Hans Greimel over Automotive News did say this new Qashqai with its third gen system was noticeably quieter and smoother under aggressive acceleration. And the quick and quiet pickup will be a key part of sales pitch to Americans. It will be a hybrid that drives like an EV with all the EV's quiet and spunky torque, but without the EV's nagging range anxiety because the fill-up is as close to the nearest gas station. E-Power is different because it is derived from EV technology and drives like an EV, Akashi from Nissan said. Customers who feel an EV is inconvenient can use it with gasoline. Its unique value is this. I hope Nissan launches the new Rogue not only with this e-Power, which it will, it's guaranteed, but e-Power Plus, which would have a plug-in hybrid battery to compete against the RAV4 plug-in hybrid. It needs to have that, I believe, in the near future with this launching. Compared with conventional hybrids, Nissan is saying e-Power's engine runs only half the time. Well, that's silly because do you know when I drive like a Toyota hybrid, sometimes it'll say electric driving percentage will be like 60% of it. So Toyota's hybrids are already doing this, if not less than half the time in certain situations. When you're doing highway, it's essentially the engine's always running. We know that. And here's the thing. This is something that could absolutely devastate Nissan, is the cost. You know, they did say in 2023 that their new efficiency gains and cost reduction in this e-Power third gen would be close to internal combustion offerings. You'd have price parity. This third gen system is still seeing a big price gap when you look at the new Qashqai. And they say it's because of rising material costs and rare earth elements in the batteries and electric motors. Well, use cheaper batteries, but then you have issues with efficiency and weight. And there's no new timeline to realize cost parity. So here's Toyota with their new RAV4 hybrid as the standard. Now, we don't know the price of it, but let's just say with the front wheel drive, they're able to get to $32,000, maybe less. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I would assume since they don't offer all-wheel drive anymore and since they've been able to upscale this hybrid powertrain for the RAV4, you know, cost will continue to come down for their hybrid. Nissan doesn't have that sort of volume to reduce the cost, and they don't seemingly have motors and batteries that have minimal requirements for rare earths and for more expensive materials. So this could kill e-Power at launch if it's not price competitive. Kirk in the editing future also wants to add that if Nissan can't find a way to also build these in the United States at their Smyrna, Tennessee plant, then that could also absolutely cripple the cost of these hybrids. Tariffs would compound these prices, and it could just be dead on arrival e-Power unless Nissan sources and builds these hybrids in America. But we don't know exactly how tariffs are going to affect car parts and car prices on imports in the future, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good whatsoever if Nissan has to import all of their e-Power technology into the United States. But time will tell. And I'm going to end it there, guys. Definitely stay tuned for my Nissan Leaf coverage and Infiniti coverage coming in the next, well, I'll say the Leaf coverage probably has no embargo because it's already been revealed. But the Infiniti and other Nissan stuff that I will be revealing, definitely we're going to have to wait some time for. Thank you guys for watching. I got to end it there. Long live Nissan, and maybe selling their chairs could actually benefit them more than we could imagine. Have a great day and peace.